Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something pretty cool: hyperlocal weather intelligence. We're talking about how tiny, powerful sensors are totally changing the way we see and react to the weather that's happening literally right outside our door. Let's get into how these mini weather stations are sparking a revolution in knowing what's going on around us in real time. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? Your phone shows that nice little sun icon for your city, but you're getting absolutely drenched in a surprise storm that just popped up over your neighborhood. This happens all the time. Because honestly, most weather forecasts are just way too broad. They completely miss the microclimates. Those super localized weather events that can flip your whole day upside down. And this slide just nails the problem. On the left, you've got your standard forecast, one icon, one data point for a massive area. But the reality, what you see on the right, is so much more complicated. One part of town could be perfectly sunny, while another is getting hit with high winds, and a third is dealing with a flash flood. It's in that massive gap between the big picture and the street-level reality where things can get really dangerous. Yeah, this isn't just about grabbing an umbrella. This is a huge information gap. For organizations and whole communities, it's like they're flying blind. They just don't have that specific, on-the-ground data to spot extreme weather quickly. And what does that mean? It means their ability to send out early warnings is really, really limited. Without predictive insights, all they can do is react after something bad has already happened. And by then, it's often way too late. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we close that gap? How do we start seeing all those invisible weather patterns that are happening right under our noses? Well, the answer is in a whole new generation of smart, connected tech that's built to do exactly that. And here it is. It's a compact, really powerful mini weather station. But the real magic isn't just the hardware itself. The true power comes from its brain, the Favoriot Insight Framework, which is what takes all that raw data and turns it into intelligence we can actually use. So what are these things actually measuring? Well, that's what's so cool. It's not just, is it hot or cold? They're tracking wind gusts to protect cranes on construction sites. They're measuring rainfall intensity to give us a heads up on floods. They're even sniffing out invisible threats like PM 2.5 air pollution to help keep kids safe at school. Every single parameter you see here translates directly into a real-world safety or operational benefit. So, look, collecting data is one thing. That's the easy part. But making it useful, that's the real game changer. So how do these raw numbers go from just being data points on a screen to becoming alerts that can trigger life-saving action? Probably the best way to wrap your head around the Favoriot Insight Framework is to think of it like a digital nervous system. The little weather stations, those are the nerve endings, spread out all over a city or a campus, constantly feeling the environment. The framework, that's the central brain. It's processing all those signals in real time and deciding when and, just as importantly, how to react. Okay, let's follow the data's journey for a second. It all starts with data acquisition. The sensors are just grabbing that raw environmental data. That data is then securely managed and streamed into the cloud, right as it happens. From there, the rule engine basically acts as a watchdog. If a preset limit is crossed, say wind speeds get dangerous, it instantly triggers an alert. At the same time, the analytics engine is digging deeper, looking for trends and patterns. And finally, all this intelligence gets integrated, plugging directly into systems like a city's main command center. And this is the payoff from that whole process: immediate, automated alerts. A construction manager gets a high wind warning on Telegram. A city official gets an email about rising floodwaters. A school principal sees a pop-up on their dashboard about bad air quality. This is exactly how data becomes a decision, delivered instantly to the right person through the right channel at the right time. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. Now let's get to the most important part, the why. Why is having this super local, up-to-the-minute data so critical in the real world? And believe me, this isn't some niche technology for a handful of scientists. Its applications are everywhere. You've got municipal councils using it to keep the public safe. University campuses are turning their grounds into living laboratories for research. Farmers are using it for precision irrigation to save water, while industrial zones and construction sites are managing minute-by-minute operational risks. The need for this is just everywhere you look. But when you zoom out, the strategic picture gets even bigger. This kind of tech directly builds climate resilience, helping communities get ready for and respond to extreme weather. It completely shifts decision-making. We go from being reactive and relying on old reports to being proactive, working with continuous live data. At the end of the day, it's about two huge things: protecting public health and making sure critical industries can keep running safely, no matter what the weather throws at them. So, what does all this data actually become? It gets transformed into 5 key types of intelligence. This isn't just one stream of numbers, it's a whole suite of outputs. We're talking everything from early warning systems that can predict a flash flood with enough time to close an underpass, all the way to predictive risk models and automated reports for environmental compliance. It's the whole intelligence package. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In a world where our environment is getting more and more unpredictable, just waiting around for those outdated, broad stroke weather reports, it's just not good enough anymore. For anyone who's responsible for keeping people safe or for long-term planning, hyperlocal intelligence isn't a luxury. It's become absolutely essential. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. We've spent this time talking about making invisible weather visible. But as our world keeps changing, what's next? What other critical environmental data is out there that we currently can't see? And how are we going to build the tools to finally see it? It's a huge question, and the answer is going to drive innovation for years to come.